Hello, and welcome to the Hanferd Files, where I find the scariest, true, horrifying stories on the internet to read to you all today. Well, we got a couple good ones here, so I'm gonna do what I do, and you do what you do, so it should be all good. This one is entitled Uber Ride from Hell. A couple of days ago, myself and a couple of friends went to a large city for a concert. We booked a hotel just a few minutes from where the concert was supposed to take place, but 2 days before the trip, it was moved to another venue across town, and there was no time to change our hotel. It was now about a 20-minute drive across town to get there in a city we were unfamiliar with. We decided it would be easier to use the Uber app for the first time and get a ride with someone who most likely knew where they were going, so we wouldn't have to worry about it. I was a little hesitant about it. The idea of riding with a random stranger who just downloaded an app and decided to be an amateur taxi didn't sit well with me. But it was a lot cheaper than a taxi, and none of us had much cash on us, so it was really our only option. Things started out well enough. We booked the ride, the guy showed up within minutes, and we all piled in. He was nice enough, and we made small talk with him for a bit. Then we get to a residential neighborhood, and he tells us we're here. There was nothing even remotely close to a concert venue inside. He tells us that we must have entered the wrong address, and we looked it up ourselves and showed him that we most definitely did not, and we are on the completely wrong side of town. He gets pissed, reprograms his GPS to the concert location, and tears off, no longer driving cautiously and no longer friendly and talkative. About half an hour later, we are finally nearing our concert destination. We were following along on our own phone's GPSs now, and he misses the exit on the freeway. Instead of doing what a normal person would and continue on, taking the next exit or letting the GPS recalculate, he stops on the highway. He looks at his phone and tries to figure out what to do. He then turns on his flashes and throws the car into reverse on the interstate, like he's going to back up and take the exit. Needless to say, a car comes screeching to a stop behind us, barely missing us. Unfortunately, the car behind them did not. I will not forget the sound of the people behind us screaming as the back end of their car came up off the ground. They were hit so hard. Then the guy tells us he doesn't want any trouble and drives off. At this point, we were just telling him take an exit and let us out. When he does so, we realize we're on the correct street and about a mile away from the concert, so we go ahead and have him take us the rest of the way. We couldn't get out of the car fast enough. We all stood there dumbfounded and eventually decided we need to talk to the police. Luckily, there was one working at the concert, so we gave him what information we could, but it wasn't much. He basically told us, since the guy was physically involved in the accident, even though he caused it, that he wouldn't be in trouble for leaving the scene. My friend who ordered the ride was looking at his app to see what options he had to report the guy to Uber. Noticed he had charged us double for an extra driving. That was eventually his fault. Pretty much ruined our evening and our Uber experience. We were terrified to take another on the way back, but we didn't have much choice. Luckily, the ride home was great. The driver was friendly and professional and had us back at the motel in 15 minutes instead of 45 minutes of hell we had endured on the original trip. These guys sound like a bunch of hippie fruits. I don't know what's wrong with walking. Walking is good exercise, and it helps you, and Jesus walked everywhere. He never took Uber. So don't be these fruits. And, the guy was kind of trying. The Uber driver was trying, and it wasn't his fault. These people probably are uppity types who like listening to Freddie Mercury and that other guy, that fruity guy. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this scary story. Please tell me what you think in the comments. Godspeed, good traveler.